Hello and welcome to the first episode of DevTalk Season 2, your go-to podcast for everything about development, monitoring and evaluation. I'm your host Krish and today we are going to dive into the essential world of monitoring and evaluation, often referred as M&E. If you are starting your career in the field of development, this podcast will give you valuable insights about the practices and understanding of M&E. So let's kick things off with a basic overview of what monitoring and evaluation is and how they differ from each other.
Well, that's a great question to start with, Krish. So monitoring and evaluation, these are the processes through which one can measure the progress of any project or a program. It aims to ensure that the activities that are being performed, whether they are moving in the right direction or not. If not, then corrective measures can be taken at an early stage so that one can ensure that the program achieves the intended outcomes. Now, if we look at the key characteristics that differ monitoring and evaluation from each other, we can look at it from the perspective of purpose. So, if we look at monitoring, it is something that it is an ongoing assessment, and assessment of what? Basically, activities and outputs. So, here the focus is on activities and outputs, basically what you are doing and what you are producing. And if we talk about evaluation, evaluation is a periodic assessment. And it focuses on outcomes and impacts. So, and if we talk about frequency, monitoring is something that can be done on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. It basically depends on the nature of the project, need of the project, etc. And evaluation, like I said, it's a periodic assessment, so it is done after a certain period. So you must have heard of baseline evaluations, midline evaluations, endline evaluations. So they happen after the project achieves a certain number of year, that is a period.
That was a great explanation, Asmita. You were talking about different types of evaluation. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. So there are different types of evaluations that are employed to assess different aspects of the project as well as different stages of the project. And each type of evaluation, it has a specific purpose which helps the stakeholders understand efficiency, effectiveness and impact of the intervention. So I can talk about a few of the evaluations. So there is formative evaluation, which is usually conducted at an early implementation phase of the project or during the development stage of the project. And you must have heard about needs assessment. So that comes under formative evaluation. So needs assessment is usually done to see whether the project is aligned with the needs of the beneficiaries or not. So here under formative evaluation, the aim is to enhance the project's design and performance so as to ensure that the project achieves the intended outcomes. Then there is process evaluation. So under process evaluation, the assessment is done on the implementation part of the project. So here, when I was talking about monitoring earlier, it is somewhat similar to monitoring, where we assess the activities, whether they are moving as per our plan or not. And if there are any operational challenges, the same can be identified under process evaluation because we focus on the activities that are being performed here. Then there is impact evaluation, where we focus on the long-term effects and impact of the intervention. And then we were talking about baseline, midline, endline evaluations. So as I said before, there are different types of evaluation. It all depends on the need of the project, the type of the project, and at which stage the project is. So accordingly, evaluations are done.
These steps are really helpful, Asmita. Before we wrap up, could you please summarize why monitoring, evaluation and assessment are so important in the development sector?
So monitoring and evaluation, they are very crucial for success of any project because they provide you a framework through which you can ensure the progress of the project. It also ensures accountability and it facilitates informed decision making. Also, by systematically collecting and analyzing data, one can understand what is going well in their program and what areas needs improvement. So I would say monitoring and evaluation, they set up a culture for continuous improvement and learning, which is very important for success of any project.
Thank you, Asmita, for tuning in into this episode of DevTalk.
Thank you, Krish. It was a pleasure to be here today.
If you found this episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we explore more topics that's going to help you to succeed in the world of development. Until then, keep learning and making a difference.